let's go hop in our time machines when natural disasters were really all we were worrying about. Heck, can go even further. Not even that. Let's just talk about what we were looking at, just hardware failures. Everybody had sort of plans, but most people had no real idea if they worked. They had this thing that they put together like, well, seems good.
Yeah.
In fact, I will never forget this night. I spent an all-nighter with a client just trying to get so that they could pass a DR test. Finally we got them through it, but it was the same old story. They had all this stuff and they never bothered testing it. It was always this idea of, well, we hope it'll work. And it has to be better. We finally got there, and we finally got to where clients were starting to test, and they realized the value of going through and making certain they can come back. In fact, some of the advanced clients I used to work with, specifically with DR, would do things like they would operate at their secondary site for half the year and then switch and operate at their other site for half the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which a lot of times I think the politics around that, of course, were we paid for it. We better not just say it's idle for 11 and a half months. But I'm with you. And it was the two things, right? It was didn't test it enough. And then I'm going to bring it up because I know it's going to be a thread that we're going to pull on here today is the communication intra-group with infrastructure, communication with the security teams, communication with other operational teams. And I mean, we could keep going, but let's just pick those core three. That's always been a challenge, right? Because this is a team sport, recovery in the disaster sense. And that looks like a walk in the park compared to the team sport that has to exist now, given the threats that we all face, correct?
Always. Yes. I mean, and that was something that even the companies that did the DR testing, let's be honest, those tests were very, very simulated and structured. They were not a true disaster. It wasn't until we started seeing the realm of cyber hit like it has that we've really seen what you just called out to be tested, where clients, it was this constant battle back and forth of, well, security's got their own bucket, infrastructure's got their own bucket, operations got their own bucket. And it was just, well, I've done mine. Let me lob the ball over to the other department. And, we cross our fingers because everybody has a plan. And we back to, once again, we're hoping that it works and comes together.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And as a parenthetical pause here, for those going, if I hear this one more time in the last 10, 15 years, we wouldn't be talking about it if we still didn't see this as a key problem in having a streamlined team approach to both kind of legacy disaster recovery and now cyber resiliency in the face of the threats that we see on a day-to-day basis, right? So I'm guessing, or that is what you're saying, that's how you got to where it is, but what kind of pushed you over the edge to say, all right, it's time to actually put pen to paper, think about an architecture, think about a construct that people can use as a blueprint, right? To actually try to change some of this past.
Right. Well, really, it was just over and over again, I would get asked the same questions by clients, and we're like, well, what do we do? How do we fix this? And I mean, let's be honest, it's not a simple, let me just put in this one tool. Let me press this, let me press the easy button and everything comes back up. I could see the pain and frustration. They realized that there was a problem, but they didn't know what to do or how to fix it. But yet, on the other hand, I saw these clients that were doing it very well. And they were just looking at, what do I need to look at to the future? Where the other clients that were struggling, they were just trying to get through the day, let alone think about what's coming through the future.